The views, takes and opinions expressed on this show are of the host's own and do not represent the views, takes and opinions of the Main Event Mark, PWPH Wrestling Network and its affiliates. Material and sources mentioned in this episode is for general and commentary purposes only. This episode might include strong language and may not be suitable for children. Listener discretion is advised. Stay safe and stay wrestle everyone. Welcome to the Main Event Mark.
Yeah, so welcome to your Unfiltered Tagalog Wrestling Podcast. This has been the Main Event Mark Podcast. So, there's a lot of things happened in the past 3 weeks to be exact, no? A lot of things went out and a lot of things then that we need to discuss, no? So, syempre, ako, si Tanga, no? Ang dami ko ring backlog, sa totoo lang. So, pasensya na. I'm trying then to catch up on what in the hell is going on with wrestling. Again, I am trying to be better. I'm trying to be the best as I can, no? Nagre-recover ako and parang hindi pa rin ako okay, sa totoo lang. Sinusubukan ko kasi for the past few days hindi ko talaga kaya. Hindi ko kayang sikmurain yung mga nangyayari sa wrestling recently. Hindi ko rin kayang sikmurain kung ano yung mga nakikita ng mata ko. At lalong hindi ko kayang sikmurain makita ang AEW in my screen. Even though recently I just bought a fucking TV box na gagamitin ko sana sa kwarto. Pero I might not use that for AEW for fuck's sake because this is getting out of hand for sure. Kasi every time that I am reviewing AEW, I know that something is wrong, no? Something is wrong, something is screwed up, something is not appropriate to discuss, no? For sure, I will discuss Night of Champions in a couple of episodes from now. And episode 300, nag-promise ako that we're going to do a review of my category so far. And yun nga, pagsunod-sunod rin na lang natin tong mga stuff na to para hindi naman ako mabacklog. Kasi you know, ang dami kong backlog recently. And alam nyo kung gaano kabano ang AEW recently, and hindi rin ako makapaniwala that I subscribed to Thriller TV, no? Yung putang ng subscription nila. So, technically, nagpahinga ako, recovering, medyo nagasakit. Sumama yung lalamunan ko. I am getting better now. Compared on the usual, no? Pero, I'm saying this before, I'll say this again. WWE is still the easiest programming that we can watch on television. Ever in my life, I'm not gonna watch a full episode of AEW whenever it's Dynamite, Collision, or even the pay-per-views. Okay, so I'm just gonna give some of my takes. I know this might be a aged takes now, pero sige, bilisan na lang natin. Marami tayong pag-uusapan for sure since I am coming back, since I'm doing this podcast, and for sure we will talk about more of these pag na-review na natin ang Night of Champions. Pero sige, I will start with this. Ang dami ko na-miss. For real. 3 weeks of wrestling, 3 weeks of me just trying to recover. Nagtatry din ako mag-catch back for the past weeks ng AEW or even WWE. WWE is still the easiest programming to consume. on television or even streaming, no? So, totoo lang, yun na yung pinakamadali. AEW, bibigyan ka nila ng dahilan para hindi ka manood. We have The Bucks, we have Will Ospreay, we have this booking kay Jon Moxley, Death Riders, man, above and beyond, we still couldn't get it done because of how lazy AEW booking is. And wag nyo kong umpisahan that AEW is getting better. That's the reason why we are lacking of content lately. I could not take seriously anymore of how AEW is trying to insist that they are doing great, but they are not doing great because of these terrible decisions and terrible booking that's on their programming every week. And people are digesting this, saying, this is getting great, this is getting great, this is getting great, this is getting great. No, it's not getting great. This is terrible booking, man. I know I have a lot of days to discuss a lot of this, but I'm going to give you guys some spoilers, no? Kasi this is going to be a lot of series to catch on. I know, but I never said that I'm not watching wrestling anymore. But yeah, let's start with the most obvious. Money in the Bank, no? Hindi ko na i-discuss yung buong card because the card stinks. The only interesting here is the two winners. Let's start with Naomi. Naomi is impressive on her heel run. I always tell you guys about that here on the podcast and even on the mothership, PWPH podcast. I'm always telling you guys that Naomi on her character is really impressive. This might be the best heel work that she has done. Hindi kasi perfect yung run niya ng 2015 because she got overshadowed by Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, and this might be her best work, no? And I really love Naomi for that. Yung steak niya is kinda annoying. Caution, man. I'm getting annoyed on that. But that's a small detail why I am annoyed of Naomi. But I am annoyed of Naomi because it works. I am not annoyed of Naomi na sinasabi ko, this is Jon Moxley type of annoying. No. I know the direction of the gimmick. I know the direction of this character. So that's why I think it works as a character. So, hindi ko gets bakit ang daming haters na Naomi right now with this Money in the Bank contract that I can assure that for the past 3 weeks that I am watching Raw or SmackDown, she is doing great on her character work, even on social media. She is that amazing. Wrestling though, di ko pa siya nakikita mag-wrestling in 3 weeks. Since Money in the Bank, that's disappointing, by the way. Seth Rollins. Let's talk about Seth. Seth, that's an opposite. Seth Rollins kasi, personally, he doesn't need to win the Money in the Bank contract. But yes, to elevate the feud versus CM Punk, even though we know he is losing the Money in the Bank. Even I know he is losing it. Unless they are going to corner him into a big wall to John Cena, because I doubt he will. Pero that's a big problem that they're trying to establish here when it comes to Seth Rollins winning the Money in the Bank. Unless he is going to lose that Money in the Bank briefcase to either two of his cohorts right now. That's Braun Breaker and Big Bronson Reed. But other than that, I don't think he's cashing in on Gunther on Cena. Yes, Gunther won the World Heavyweight title. The last time that I am here on the podcast, he is still the challenger for the title over Jey Uso. And I'm glad he lost. For sure. And I'm glad that he lost the briefcase. Kasi, yeah, it is what it is. I'm glad that Jey Uso lost the match. Ito, let's talk about the things that I really love about Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank, I really love the involvement of AAA here. Kasi sobrang grabe yon. Big deal na big deal yung Worlds Collide. And, okay. So, let's talk about Worlds Collide real quick. Worlds Collide for me is a really good presentation on how Lucha Libre should go on. I mean, AAA, no? To the United States television. I mean, AAA versus CMLL in AEW is pretty different on how they're getting treated. Pero ako kasi I don't like the idea of the Grand Slam Mexico. Even though that's a successful attempt to do that. Pero ako kasi I think parang iba yung pakaramdam ko when it comes to this Money in the Bank. But okay, let's tell that as it is. Ako kasi sa tingin ko, yung Money in the Bank na to, sa totoo lang, Naomi is the most reliable choice. Sa totoo lang naman, no? Siyempre, they actually elevated some of their new talents like Stephanie Baker, si Roxanne Perez, si Julia. Pero I would say the women's match was the better one, no? Sa tingin ko lang naman. I mean, okay, they made the call to turn Jacob Fatu into face on that match, and I really love it. That was really good. Then, yung kay Rollins kasi sa tingin ko, he is just setting up for the establishment of his stable, no? Pero the main event kasi with the match, tag match, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus John Cena and Logan Paul, that was okay. That was really okay. Pero I'm not saying that it's the worst thing that we have, no? Pero ako kasi sa tingin ko lang naman na hindi siya sobrang impressive if masyado mo kasing iisipin na okay, so parang ganito lang din naman yung nagiging pakiramdam, tapos yung parang iba din yung feeling of kung paano nga ba i-rely yung kanyang tiwala dito. But that's a subject to ano ba tawag dito? Subject to change still. Like, come on, man. And ang kaya ko lang naman sabihin as of this time that yung pakiramdam kasi ng promotion na to, it will be a different outcome if you think you are just showing them how it feels, unless you have the idea of how it should look like. Putangin na, nabulol na ako. Ako kasi hindi ako maniniwala that they are just establishing something for convenience. Hindi rin ako maniniwala that AEW or even WWE is just there to establish something that you might not see on a different perspective, but it doesn't mean it needs to be executed really well. But like what I said, it's a self-serving thing that we need to think about it, no? Self-explanatory or kung ano man yung gusto nilang isipin, no? Iba pa rin ang impression doon. Pero going back, John Cena sa Money in the Bank, underwhelming. Pero I'm glad that he was able to pick up or catch back when it comes to his team. Sa anong ito, para bang iba na yung feeling nito nitong buong Cena run. And then we just had the CM Punk segments, and then ito na nga, we get some segments between Punk and Cena. But regardless, I really love it. Dominic Mysterio beating Octagon Jr., basically that's a jobber match to me. Then Becky Lynch beating Lyra Valkyria. It's pretty impressive to see that Lyra Valkyria is now elevated as a big star. I would say that in all of my heart, because that was a really good moment that we have here. And I love that for Lyra, for sure. No? Pero, we will talk about more things on the next couple of episodes when it comes to how extensive I am when it comes to WWE recently. But, yeah. So, I'm just gonna summarize my thoughts when it comes to the past few episodes of Raw, no, and SmackDown and NXT then to extent in the other episodes of the show. So, I'm just gonna talk about Raw, SmackDown, and before Night of Champions. So, after Money in the Bank, so like what I said, I absolutely loved the the Jey Uso losing to Gunther match. And it really makes sense because iba na yung pakiramdam ng tao kay Jey Uso ngayon. Ibang-iba na. And I really love the impression then of him losing the belt. Na? And of course, iba rin yung charisma ni Gunther as world champion. Hindi ito winning for convenience para makalaban ni Gunther si Goldberg. Hindi. If ko ako lang din yung booker, tas ilalagay ko lang din, okay, let's fight Gunther for Goldberg. No, I'm not gonna book that. I'm not gonna waste my time booking Goldberg for the title if there's no meaning when it comes to that. If there's no other meaning when it comes to that. Pero ako naman kasi, hindi ko masisi si WWE if kung ano man yung gusto nilang i-book for their own convenience, but it doesn't mean that this is just something for convenience ba? Parang convenience ba na makasell ng tickets? Just a convincing ba para ma-resolve kung ano man yung gusto nilang i-resolve sa booking, or ito ba ay sense of convenience to counter AEW All In Texas na hanggang ngayon underwhelming pa din compared last year. You can hear my previous episodes from last year. I am praising AEW because they built two matches well there, like the Mariah May versus Toni Storm and then the main event. They absolutely built these two matches well. Now, 2025, wala. We just gave Mercedes Moné a lot of belts na pinepretend pa rin na wala daw siyang creative control. Beast Mortos is main eventing shows, which is I find ridiculous because, you don't mess with Mercedes Moné. Oh my God. Man, I really hate Miss Mortos. Not the character, not the wrestler, but I really hate the character. He doesn't deserve to main event these shows. I don't get why he has this reason. Okay, I am trying to convince myself to love Beast Mortos. So, totoo lang, hindi nyo talaga ako mako-convince. The day that he made his debut in AEW, hindi nyo talaga ako mako-convince dito. Hindi nyo talaga ako mako-convince. But going back, King and Queen of the Ring, I'm not gonna do a full extensive review of this whole tournament because it's a waste of time. Just like the All In Texas previews, no? Yung mga shows na yan. Pero, one thing is for sure when it comes to this King and Queen of the Ring, I really think that medyo missed opportunity to see Roxanne losing the match, no? Medyo missed opportunity siya kasi I would love to see Roxanne Perez in the finals, pero it is what it is. They need Jade more. They need star power, and that's Jade Cargill. We will talk about more of that in a moment. Then parang pansin kasi natin din that Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez are trying to work out, pero di nila talaga kaya. And then Liv got injured days after that. Then they're now trying to pit Roxanne Perez and Liv out. Tas si Raquel is parang they are now setting up to turn on Liv Morgan, since Liv is such a cheerable face now as we speak. And I really love them for that, to establish this type of booking, no? Pero they're now then trying then to move on from Liv. Oo. And then so parang they're now trying then na maging unbeatable union. Tas Roxanne Perez outsmarted Liv down the line. I love it. That's smart to me. And then yung kay R-Truth, I am really convinced that they're going to put something into R-Truth. But after of these 2 episodes of SmackDown, okay. That's disappointing. I'll talk about that later on. Pero itong men's King of the Ring so far, that's a little bit predictable to me. The pacing of the whole tournament is predictable. I will say that extensively in the whole episode of this show. The whole King of the Ring is very predictable as fuck. So I'm now on the June 16 episode of Raw. I can say that a show without Pat McAfee is amazing. I'm not saying I hate Pat McAfee, but Corey Graves is such a better role in my opinion if it's andun siya sa may Raw instead of Pat McAfee. I would love to see Pat McAfee like sa mga PLE, so sa mga ibang show ng WWE. Maybe I can take a pass on that. But other than that, I don't think I would love to see him in this type of scenario then, no? Pero I think this is better now. Pero yun nga, ito isa pa. Si Liv Morgan on this episode, very annoying, and it works, no? I really love that they are able to make sure that her character will stink in a good way, and that's how it shows. And obviously on that June 9th episode, before or after Money in the Bank, we saw the coronation of Gunther as World Heavyweight Champion, and Jey Uso is now back in the bottom. No problem. And then we got Goldberg, the one that we got as a consequence. I guess para siyang consequence because we choose Gunther over Goldberg. And that's the case there. And okay, we got the match at Saturday night's main event, June 12 or July 12. And then, okay, that's the case there. And medyo ini-slow pa nila yung booking for the split ng Judgment Day. Then, other than this card, I am really kinda annoyed to see how these fucking fuckers will work. Okay, so final episode of Raw before Night of Champions. Obviously, we got the Seth Rollins stable. Parang they're now then trying to establish the whole thing here. I really love it. Then, I love then that they are more establishing his two cohorts, Bronson Reed at si Bron Breakker. I really love them to establish that in a different manner. Ina nga. Tapos, Goldberg, parang he is trying to be short and sweet. Hindi siya effective sa character niya. Totoo lang. They're trying to put him on point. Para bang tsaka yung mga video din, they're trying to reference din na ito na yung retirement match niya. But okay. Then, Jade Cargill versus Roxanne Perez. Let's talk about that. I really love this match. I really do. Because Roxanne Perez is impressive as a wrestler. And also, parang pansin ko din kasi she's getting impressive for sure. Yung parang iba yung pakaramdam din ng feeling on how this situation will go or will move forward. Kaya nga gustong-gusto na yun ni Dom si Roxanne eh. Hindi lang niya mapakita kasi may expose siya ni Roxanne dito dadalhin eh. And I love to see him to turn together with Roxanne. Then Rhea Ripley with Raquel Rodriguez. I'm tired of this. I am tired of this, man. I don't want to see them fight ever again after of this. I hope Night of Champions will be the last time that they will fight. For real, I am getting sick and tired of these two persons, no? For real. For fucking real, man. Man. I am getting tired of the whole thing. This not gonna work. This no longer works. Or it's no longer working to me. And don't start me when it comes to this experiment kay Dom. It's not going to work yet again. Pero, going back, pag-usapan natin yung hindi ko gusto when it comes to this feud, no? Kina Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. So, we obviously have Cody winning the match. They're calling this that this is going to be a match of the year worthy. And I agree. The match was really good, but it's not a worthy for a year. For a match of the year. No? And definitely, we got the best in the business right now. And then, we got the most important shocker that we should see when it comes to this. And that's Roxanne Perez to you guys. And I love Roxanne Perez. Every time that I am going to reference Roxanne Perez here on this show going forward, they should be a lesson for everyone that don't sleep on Roxanne Perez. Okay, so SmackDown, I'm not gonna do any back reading when it comes to that because on these episodes, I am getting napped. Every time I'm going to do this shit. And hindi ko kaya talaga manood ng 3 hours SmackDown. I am glad though that we are able to get a reality check that on July 4 holiday sa United States, we're no longer getting this 3 hours SmackDown. That's a relief to me. Jesus Christ. Pero, okay, let's continue now with the whole thing here. No? So, SmackDown, no? So, let's continue. So, medyo iba yung pacing ng segment na to because I obviously watching on Tap Sports compared with the US oh my God. Compared with the USA people, no? If they watch this on USA, they might watch this in a different perspective. Kasi they were able to pick or to watch this whole segment Pero iba na siyang angle. Ibang angle na lang. So, technically, ito yung nagka-issue, no? Ang weird nung camera angles, pero basically, wala man tayo na-miss dito. No? Wala tayong ganun na-miss dito. Basically, that's the case. And then, okay, that should be the case there. Pero yung footage na nakuha natin, para siyang cellphone, para siyang iPhone. Pero ang ganda pa rin ng pagka-footage niya. And I love it. I love how they were able to share us this whole thing in detail. And then, ito na nga, tong SmackDown was not that great, but okay. And then, we have here Zelina Vega beating Julia. I love Zelina Vega. For sure. I really love her rise. I really love her character work. I really love her rise again to the occasion. But like what I said, Julia is such a different era now. Iba na yung pakaramdam natin when it comes to WWE. And Julia winning the belt really makes sense also because it's time for us to get something new when it comes to this stable now, no? And then, parang sinabi na rin natin na itong US title, gagawin niya daw ng stepping stone. But that was really good. The match was really good. Zelina is trying to catch up with Julia here. But that was amazing as fuck. Queen of the Ring. Of course, let's talk about Queen of the Ring in a moment sa predictions. Pero, minention din natin that yung SmackDown, as we mentioned on the podcast previously, will go back to 2 hours after of this episode. So, that's really good. No? That's a W that they were able to restore the SmackDown back to its normal 2 hours. So, we don't really care now if the show is 2 or 1 hour. But ang malinaw sa atin ngayon, I don't want any programming that's on 2 fucking hours. Hindi ko kaya panoorin talaga yung SmackDown. Hindi ko rin kaya tagalan. To be honest with you guys, I really catched up after ko manood kanina, no? So, ayun. Parang iba na rin yung pakaramdam ngayon. Tapos ngayon, sabihin na naman nila, para na naman tayo naglolokohan dito. Tapos, Diyos ko po naman, para na naman tayo naglolokohan dito. Tapos, sinasabi nila. Tapos, iba na naman yung feeling ito. Tapos, sasabihin na naman nila, okay, so ganun na naman tayo. Ganun na naman tayo ng yeah. Wala na akong masabi. Basta, the most important thing, if we are gonna talk about it, is just on a perspective how it should be felt out. Kung paano natin to i-expose sa buong tao o sa lahat ng tao on how we should restore the whole programming, then that should be it. So, okay. So, yeah. Wala naman ako masyadong kailangan pag-usapan dito sa buong bagay na to. And I can talk about other things on the next episodes. Pero, Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax, if you have time, you can watch this match. That was really good as fuck. Really good match. Then, ito na nga, yung like, binabawi ko yung sinabi ko kanina na wala naman kailangan ma-miss sa SmackDown. This is not the one that I am trying to mention. Nagbawian silang dalawa. Punk got Cena's possession, which is the word life gimmick. And Punk got fucked by Cena last week for the pipe bomb reverse. And both of these promos actually hit each other. Even though the Cena one to Punk was a little bit better to me. But overall, that was the better turn, no? wala, hindi kinaya ni on paper that was a really good idea, pero parang ang daming kulang dun sa promo na yon ni Punk. I'm not saying it's great, but that was feeling na, okay, as long as we are able to escape this whole feud, ito naman tayo. This feels very inconvenient, if you ask me. Tapos, ito na naman yung pakaramdam na, okay, iba na naman yung feeling nito. Tapos, para na naman tayong naglolokohan or feeling when it comes to this, bahala na si Batman. Ganun yung feeling eh. No? But, yeah, that should be the case there. So, I'm going to cut off this episode for now, since I can talk about AEW extensively on a different episode. And I don't want to waste your time too much when it comes to this AEW thing. And I will be back on a hour episode. Promise, guys. I will be back on a 1 hour episodes after episode 300. Yan ay ipapromise ko sa inyo. For the meantime, Night of Champions should be on episode 301. No? Tama ba? Tama ba timeline ko? Today I am recording, I think that's the... Give me 1 second. Okay. This is 296. Episode 296. So, yeah, I was right. We can still record a few episodes more after this. So, we can still record few episodes. Then, preview na natin yung inaantay natin. Sige, din ito aabot ng 301, for sure. Pero 300 talaga, kailangan natin pag-usapan doon yung important bagay that we need to talk about. Which is yung ating match of the year so far. We will talk about that more on episode 300 2 weeks from now. But for the meantime, let's do the predictions for Night of Champions. So, Night of Champions will take place on tomorrow, June 28, 2025 at the Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. This should be televised on WWE Network in the Philippines and on Netflix if you are from around the world, except for some countries, including the Philippines, who doesn't have Netflix deal yet. It's available also on Peacock if you are from the United States. So, this should be the format and the matches when it comes to this whole card. When it comes to this whole thing, no? Let's talk about Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. This match feels a giveaway to me because of the original match that we got between Dom and Dom at saka AJ Styles. That is kinda wasted to me. And then Liv versus Io Sky din, isa pa. No, medyo sayang yun. But okay. That should be other match that we should expect on that time. Pero okay. The case here is this. Karrion Kross should get the win over Sami Zayn. That is one thing for sure. Wala na pong iba. And then we have Raquel Rodriguez versus Rhea Ripley. This is their 1,000th time to recover Raquel Rodriguez from a destruction of her character. And I hope this time around they will be able to perfect it. Because if Rhea wins, what we're getting? So, I'm gonna go with Raquel Rodriguez here, for sure. I don't care if it's may distraction dito si Roxanne Perez or wala. This should be a win for Raquel Rodriguez. Then, we have Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa. This match, this feels one of the exciting matches of this card. No? Mas excited pa ako dito kaysa doon sa tatlo. I'm gonna go with Jacob Fatu here because Solo doesn't need a belt. And we need to see Hikuleo na rin down the line because we need to. And sana sumama siya kay Jacob Fatu instead of Jeff Cobb or Solo. We have also John Cena versus CM Punk for the WWE title. Ito no doubt ako. I'm gonna go with Cena here. Punk doesn't have any right to win the WWE title if it's from Punk or from Cena. I don't have the right to tell anything. Or wala akong masyadong impression when it comes to Punk winning the WWE title, but I would love to see him winning the title. But I'm not going to say that Punk needs to win the title during Cena's last year. That's for sure. So I'm gonna go with Cena here. Very easy pick. Then Asuka versus Jade Cargill for the Queen of the Ring. Win or lose, for sure, we are going to get Asuka versus Io Sky kasi tinis na nila to sa Raw. Win or lose, for sure, makukuha natin to. Kasi sobrang laki ng challengers ni Io Sky. Wala si Liv, wala rin si Nikki Bella. I don't want to see Nikki Bella challenger for the belt. And isa pa lang yung match doon sa card ng Evolution, so we might get that also sa Revolution, but okay. But okay, it's going to be for Jade. Ito, easy na to. Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes, easy win. Cody. Pero I would love actually to see Randy turn and then fuck Cody up. And then he will get the win because Cody can still get a title shot versus Cena down the line. Pero for convenience, I would say it's Cody. Again, this should be the predictions that I have for this year's King and Queen of the Ring for Night of Champions 2025. So, wala naman ako gano'ng kailangan ma-miss masyado when it comes to this whole card, no? Yung parang, okay, gano'n naman din pala naman ito. Parang hindi naman ako kailangan mag-catch up sa wrestling. Madali lang mag-catch up talaga sa WWE. I'm always telling people how easy WWE programming is or how to consume WWE programming. And this is easily a proof that we can easily catch up when it comes to their programming. Unlike AEW, hindi mo kakayanin. Doon na nga lang sa Okada, Omega, doon na nga lang, putang ina, nauurat na ako. Sobrang nakakaburat ng AEW na to. Like, for real. Yung parang iba yung feeling when it comes to the whole segments or every time I see segment ng Young Bucks or ni Moxley, hindi ko talaga kaya. Ayan, hindi ko talaga makaya. Every time I see him, para ako nasusuya. Every time he speaks, it speaks water rather than blood. So that's two different things that I don't like when it comes to him. Yan. So, I think we should settle this episode for now. And yeah, I hope you can follow and support the podcast on all of the social media platforms at the Main Event Mark PW. And I know we will talk a lot of wrestling. A lot of wrestling. I know we will talk about a lot of wrestling, but the most important thing, we will talk about Night of Champions in the next couple of days. We will talk about how ridiculous AEW is, and we are not going to take everything and anything. Pero yan, it is what it is. So, abangan na lang natin sa mga susunod na araw at kabanata. Then, kung ano pa yung kailangan kong abangan at kailangan ko ding ma-miss when it comes to this whole thing for AEW. Marami pa tayong i-catch up, no? Marami tayong i-catch up, marami din tayong abangan din, sa totoo lang. And, yeah. Parang, ako din kasi sa totoo lang, iba yung amor talaga sa akin ito ni ano eh. Nalimutan ko yung tinatakal ko. Basta, iba na talagang amor sa akin ng AEW ngayon. And I could not take AEW seriously. And, yeah, I know this might bypass what I said previously that I'm not gonna do a 1-hour episode again until after episode 300. Pero, that might bypass it. Pero, yeah, I will talk about more AEW in the next episode. And then, Night of Champions. Maybe in the next couple of days as well. Putangin na, nakutan na ako. Pero, yeah, episode 300 is coming soon. And I'm gonna follow it in July. For the meantime, follow the podcast, all of the social media platforms at Main Event Mark PW. And, yeah, I hope you can support also Pro Wrestling Philippines Club at PWPH Select. Please also follow and support all of our local scenes today. FPW sa FPW din sa Puso Wrestling, they release a lot of bangers lately. And shoutouts din kay Miguel Navarro for being the new matchmaker for DexCon, as he officially announced 3 shows for DexCon. I might go at least 2 days of the 3. I wish, magfi-fingers cross na ako. Papunta na ako ng shows ng DexCon ngayong August. So, abangan nyo yan. August 22 to 25. 24, 22, 23, 24. Fuck it. I lost. Pero yun, abangan natin lahat ng mga shows. July 6 is Puso Wrestling Carrera. I hope you can really support Puso Wrestling DexCon. And of course, FPW. Damay na rin natin si Woo. Yeah, I hope you can support all of our local wrestling scenes here in the Philippines, just like what we stated on the previous episodes of this show. With that said, thank you very much again for listening for this podcast. Again, I am back, and I will be back for good. See you guys next episode. Again, my name is Angelo Penera from the Main Event Mark Podcast. This has been the episode number 296 of the Main Event Mark. Stay safe and stay wrestle. See you on the next episode. Bye for now.